Anna was a young nurse who had always wanted to help people. She worked in a big hospital in the city. Every day, she wore her clean white uniform and walked through long, bright halls. She loved her job because it gave her a chance to bring comfort to people who were sick or hurt. Anna believed that even a small smile or a kind word could make someone's day better. One evening, Anna was given a new patient to care for. His name was Mr. Harris. He was a rich man, a millionaire who had been in an accident. The doctors said he was in a coma. For many weeks, he had not opened his eyes or spoken a word. His body lay still in a hospital bed, connected to many machines that helped him breathe and keep his heart beating. Anna walked slowly into his room. It was quiet there, with soft white walls and a small window that looked out to the city. The sun was setting, painting the sky with orange and pink colors. The room felt empty and sad. Mr. Harris was not like the other patients Anna cared for. He did not smile or move. He did not respond to the nurses or the doctors. But Anna saw him as a person, not just a patient. She gently touched his hand. His skin was cool and pale. Anna whispered softly, "Good evening, Mr. Harris. I'm Anna, your nurse. I will take care of you." Even though she knew he might not hear her, Anna spoke anyway. She believed that her words could reach him in some way. Sometimes, she talked about simple things, like the weather outside or the sound of birds in the morning. She hoped these small moments would remind Mr. Harris that life was still happening, waiting for him. Days passed, and Anna came to Mr. Harris's room every morning. She gave him medicine, changed his clothes, and cleaned him with great care. Bathing a patient in a coma was not easy. He could not move or help himself. Anna had to be very gentle and patient. She spoke to him while she washed his face and hands, telling him stories about the world outside the hospital. Anna remembered a story her grandmother once told her, that even the smallest light can shine in the darkest night. She believed Mr. Harris was like that light, hidden for now, but still there. Sometimes, Anna felt tired. Caring for patients in serious condition was hard work, and she missed her family and friends. But she never stopped coming to Mr. Harris's room. She felt a connection with him, even though he did not speak or move. She hoped he could feel her kindness. One afternoon, a nurse from another floor came by. She asked Anna why she spent so much time with a patient who might never wake up. Anna smiled softly and said, "Because every person deserves to be treated with love and respect, no matter what." That night, Anna sat by Mr. Harris's bed after her shift. The hospital was quiet, and the soft hum of machines was the only sound. She took out a small notebook and began writing a letter to Mr. Harris. In the letter, she told him about the day, the blue sky, the children playing outside, and the warm sunshine. She folded the letter carefully and placed it on the table near his bed. "I don't know if you can read this," she said quietly, "but I want you to know you are not alone." Anna felt tears in her eyes, but she smiled. She believed in miracles, even small ones. Meanwhile, Mr. Harris's family rarely visited. They were busy with their own lives and the business that Mr. Harris had left behind. Sometimes, Anna saw them outside the room, speaking in low voices or looking worried. But no one stayed long. The hospital room remained silent most of the time. One morning, Anna arrived early to start her work. She found Mr. Harris's hand resting on the bed sheet. She gently held his fingers and spoke softly, "Good morning, Mr. Harris. It's a new day. We're all waiting for you." As she cleaned him and gave him medicine, Anna noticed something strange. His fingers moved slightly under her hand. It was so small that she thought it was her imagination. But her heart skipped a beat. For the first time in weeks, something inside the quiet room changed. Anna knew this was only the beginning of a long journey, but she felt hope deep in her heart. She promised herself to be there for Mr. Harris no matter what. She would not give up on him. Because sometimes, the smallest kindness can bring the greatest miracles. Every morning, Anna woke up with a purpose. She knew that today was another chance to help Mr. Harris. The hospital was quiet when she arrived. Soft light came through the windows, and the scent of fresh flowers from the garden filled the air. Anna smiled, hoping that the gentle atmosphere would make Mr. Harris feel calm and safe. She opened the door to his room with care. Mr. Harris lay still on his bed, breathing slowly and evenly. Machines beeped softly around him, keeping track of his body. Anna pulled on her gloves and prepared for the day's routine. Bathing a patient in a coma was not easy. It needed patience, attention, and kindness. Anna began by washing his hands. She took a warm, soft cloth and gently wiped away the dust and sweat. As she worked, she whispered, "Good morning, Mr. Harris. It's a new day, and the sun is shining outside. The birds are singing just for you." She moved slowly, careful not to hurt him. She washed his face next, wiping away the dryness from his skin. His eyes remained closed, but Anna believed that inside, he was listening. She thought that maybe, one day, he would hear her words and know he was not alone. The bath was the hardest part. Anna carefully washed his arms and legs, speaking softly all the while. She told him stories about simple things: flowers blooming in spring, children playing in the park, and the smell of fresh rain on the ground. She wanted to remind him that life was still happening outside the hospital walls. While bathing Mr. Harris, Anna noticed small details. His skin was warm in some places and cold in others. His breathing was steady but shallow. She knew the doctors were doing their best, but she believed that her care made a difference, too. After the bath, Anna helped Mr. Harris change into a fresh hospital gown. She brushed his hair gently and placed pillows to make him comfortable. She adjusted the machines and checked the monitors carefully. Everything needed to be just right. When her tasks were done, Anna sat beside his bed. She reached for the small notebook she kept for him and began writing again. In her letters, she shared the news from outside. Today, she wrote about a small puppy she had seen in the park. The puppy was clumsy and happy, wagging its tail and chasing butterflies. Anna folded the letter and placed it carefully on the bedside table. She looked at Mr. Harris and said, "You will be strong again. I believe in you." Some days, Anna wondered if Mr. Harris could hear her, or if he was still trapped in silence. But she never gave up. She knew that even if he could not answer, her voice was important. It was a sign that someone cared. Anna's co-workers noticed her dedication. Some smiled quietly when they saw her talking to a patient who could not respond. Others asked why she spent so much time with Mr. Harris. Anna always said the same thing: everyone deserves love, even when they can't say thank you. One afternoon, Anna's words seemed to reach farther than she expected. As she washed Mr. Harris's face, she saw a tiny movement, a flutter of his eyelid. Her heart stopped for a moment. She blinked and looked again. The eyelid twitched once more. Anna held her breath and gently called the doctor. The doctor came quickly with a team. They checked Mr. Harris's vital signs and ran tests. Everyone was surprised and hopeful. "Is this a sign he is waking up?" Anna asked, her voice soft but full of hope. The doctor smiled carefully. It might be. We need to watch him closely. That night, Anna stayed late. The hospital was quiet, and the machines beeped softly in the dark. She sat beside Mr. Harris, holding his hand and whispering stories. "We are waiting for you, Mr. Harris. Please come back to us." Anna knew the road ahead would be long and difficult. But she was ready. She believed that kindness, patience, and hope could work miracles. And she promised to be there for Mr. Harris, every step of the way. Anna's daily visits became more than just part of her job. They became a mission, a way to connect with Mr. Harris beyond the machines and hospital walls. She felt a deep bond growing between them, even though he could not speak or move much. Anna's heart told her that inside Mr. Harris was still a person waiting to be found. One evening, after her shift, Anna sat in a small corner of the hospital break room. She pulled out a notebook and began writing a letter to Mr. Harris. She wrote about her day, how the sun had shone bright, how a little girl had smiled at her in the hallway, and how the city was alive with sounds and colors. Anna folded the letter carefully and brought it to Mr. Harris's room the next morning. She placed it beside his bed, hoping that her words would reach him in some way. Writing these letters became her secret ritual. Every day, Anna wrote stories, hopes, and wishes in the notebook. She told Mr. Harris about flowers blooming, about rain falling softly, and about birds flying freely. She wanted to remind him that the world was still full of beauty. Sometimes, Anna imagined what Mr. Harris might be feeling. Was he scared? Was he lonely? Did he remember the life he had before? She thought about his family, who visited rarely and seemed busy with their own lives. Anna's letters were filled with kindness and hope. She wrote, "You are not alone, Mr. Harris. We are all here, waiting for you. Please come back to us." One morning, as Anna entered the room to begin her work, she noticed something new. Mr. Harris's hand was not where she had left it. It was slightly turned, as if he had moved it himself. Anna's heart jumped. She gently held his hand, speaking softly, "I'm here, Mr. Harris. I see you." The doctors and nurses were surprised by this small change. They watched closely, hoping it was a sign of recovery. Anna felt a quiet joy inside her. She knew that every small sign was a step forward. Days turned into weeks. Anna continued her care and her letters. She kept believing in the power of kindness and hope. One afternoon, a nurse asked Anna how she could stay so strong. Anna smiled and said, "Because I believe that even the smallest light can shine in the darkest place." Then, one morning, something truly amazing happened. As Anna washed Mr. Harris's face, he slowly opened his eyes. The room filled with light and hope. Anna's heart swelled with joy. Mr. Harris looked at her with confusion and wonder. His voice was weak, but he said her name softly. "Anna." Tears filled Anna's eyes. She held his hand tightly and whispered, "Welcome back." The miracle Anna had hoped for was finally real. The moment Mr. Harris opened his eyes, the whole hospital room seemed to change. The machines beeped faster, and the soft sunlight that came through the window felt warmer and brighter. Anna's heart raced with a mix of surprise, hope, and joy. She had waited for this moment for weeks, but now that it had come, it felt almost too real to believe. Mr. Harris blinked slowly, his eyes adjusting to the light. He looked around the room with confusion, trying to understand where he was. His voice was barely a whisper when he said, "Anna." Anna smiled through her tears and gently squeezed his hand. "Yes, "Mr. Harris, it's me. You're awake." The doctors and nurses rushed into the room after hearing the news. They carefully checked his vital signs and spoke softly to him. Mr. Harris tried to move his fingers and arms, and with help, he was able to nod slightly. Everyone was amazed. After weeks of silence, this was a new beginning. For Anna, this was more than just a patient waking up. It was a miracle born from hope, patience, and kindness. She knew the road ahead would be long and hard, but this was the first step. Over the next few days, Mr. Harris's condition improved little by little. He still struggled to speak clearly or move on his own, but his eyes were brighter, and he showed signs of awareness. Anna stayed close, always ready to help, to listen, and to encourage him. One afternoon, while Anna was helping him eat, Mr. Harris managed to say a few simple words. "Thank you," he whispered. Anna's eyes filled with tears again. She shook her head gently and said, "You don't have to thank me. I'm just glad you're here." As he regained strength, Mr. Harris began to share stories from his past. At first, he spoke slowly and with difficulty, but each word was important. He told Anna about his childhood, his family, and the business he had built over many years. He spoke of mistakes he had made and chances he had missed. Anna listened carefully. She could see that Mr. Harris carried more than physical wounds, he also had deep emotional pain. He spoke about feeling lonely, even when surrounded by people. His wealth had not brought him happiness, only more problems. One evening, after a tiring day of therapy, Mr. Harris looked at Anna and said softly, "You saved me, not just my body, but my heart." Anna shook her head and smiled, "You saved yourself. I just helped you find the way." Slowly, Mr. Harris started to smile more often. He asked questions about the world outside the hospital and about the simple things Anna talked about during her visits. The two of them formed a special bond not just as nurse and patient, but as two people who had found hope in each other. Anna also noticed a change in herself. Caring for Mr. Harris had given her a new sense of purpose. She felt that her small acts of kindness could truly make a difference in someone's life. It was a lesson she would carry with her forever. One day, Mr. Harris's family came to visit. They were surprised to see him awake and able to speak. For the first time, they stayed longer and talked with Anna. They thanked her for her care and dedication. Anna felt a quiet pride but reminded them gently, it was Mr. Harris's own strength and spirit that brought him back. Mr. Harris smiled and nodded. Yes, it was. As weeks passed, Mr. Harris's health improved more and more. He began physical therapy to regain his strength and practiced speaking to recover his voice. Anna was there at every step, encouraging him and celebrating each small victory. Together, they faced challenges, but they never lost hope. Anna believed that miracles happened when people cared deeply and never gave up. One afternoon, as the sun set and painted the sky in soft colors, Mr. Harris turned to Anna and said, "You gave me more than life. You gave me hope." Anna smiled and said, "And you gave me a reason to believe in miracles." That night, Anna left the hospital feeling grateful. She knew that her care had changed a life, but more importantly, that life had changed her. Because sometimes, the smallest touch, the kindest word, and the deepest care create the most beautiful miracles. The days after Mr. Harris woke up were filled with small but powerful moments. Each breath, each movement, each word was a victory. Anna was there every step of the way, holding his hand, encouraging him, and reminding him that he was not alone. It was like watching a flower slowly bloom after a long winter. One morning, Anna came early to the hospital, carrying fresh flowers she had picked from her garden. She placed them in a small vase by Mr. Harris's bed. The bright colors filled the room with life. She smiled and whispered, "These are for you, Mr. Harris. Just like you, they are strong and beautiful." Mr. Harris looked at the flowers with curiosity. He tried to smile, but his lips trembled. Anna took his hand gently and said, "You're doing great. Every day is a step forward." Anna helped him sit up in bed. It was hard for him. His muscles were weak, and he felt tired quickly. But he was determined to try. With Anna's support, he began moving his arms and legs little by little. At first, his words were soft and unclear. Sometimes, Anna had to guess what he was trying to say. But each time he spoke, it filled her with hope. One afternoon, while Anna was helping him drink water, Mr. Harris looked directly into her eyes and said clearly, "Thank you." Anna's heart swelled. Tears filled her eyes as she smiled back. "You don't have to thank me, Mr. Harris. I'm just happy you're here." Mr. Harris rested his head back on the pillow, tired but peaceful. For the first time in many weeks, Anna saw a calmness in his eyes. Over the next days, Mr. Harris continued to speak more. He shared small stories about his life before the accident. He told Anna about his childhood in a small town, where he had played in fields and dreamed of a better life. He talked about the hard work he had done to build his business. But he also spoke about loneliness and regrets. Anna listened carefully. She knew that healing was not just about the body but also about the heart and mind. Mr. Harris had spent many years focusing on work and money, but he realized he had lost touch with the simple joys of life. One evening, as the hospital lights grew dim, Mr. Harris said softly, "I was so lost." Anna squeezed his hand and replied, "Sometimes, we all get lost. But it's never too late to find the way." She told him stories about hope, about people who found happiness after hard times. She reminded him that every day was a new chance to start over. Mr. Harris smiled weakly. "You saved me, not just my body, but my heart." Anna shook her head and smiled back. "You saved yourself. I just helped you find the way." As days passed, Anna watched Mr. Harris grow stronger. He began to laugh again. His eyes sparkled with life, and his smile became more natural. He even joked sometimes, teasing Anna gently. Their friendship deepened. Anna shared her own dreams and fears, and Mr. Harris listened with kindness. He told her he wanted to change his life, to help others, and to live with meaning. One morning, the hospital therapist came to work with Mr. Harris. Anna watched as he tried to stand and walk with support. It was difficult and painful, but he never gave up. Anna stayed close, encouraging him with every step. "You can do it, Mr. Harris," she said. "One step at a time." He nodded, determined. "For you, Anna. For me." Anna felt a quiet joy inside her. She knew the journey was still long, but she believed in the power of hope and love. One day, Mr. Harris's family visited again. This time, they stayed longer. They saw the changes in him and thanked Anna for her care and patience. Anna smiled and said, "It was Mr. Harris's own strength that brought him here." Mr. Harris nodded. "Yes, it was." That night, Anna sat by the window, looking at the stars. She thought about how a simple touch, a kind word, and a little hope had brought a man back from the darkness. She felt grateful to be part of this miracle. The story of Mr. Harris was no longer just about a man in a coma. It was about healing, courage, and the kindness that connects us all. Anna closed her eyes and whispered, "Thank you for trusting me." And deep inside, she knew that miracles happen every day, when we believe in each other. The days moved slowly but steadily for Mr. Harris. Every morning, Anna arrived at the hospital with a warm smile and a heart full of hope. She knew that recovery was not a straight path, it was filled with ups and downs, small victories, and hard moments. But she was ready to walk beside him through it all. Mr. Harris had come a long way from the silent man in a coma. Now, he was trying to rebuild his life, piece by piece. Each day brought new challenges. His muscles were weak, and sometimes his body ached from the effort of moving. His speech was still slow, but he practiced carefully, repeating words again and again. Anna helped him with exercises and cheered him on every time he took a step forward. She never let him forget how strong he was, even when he doubted himself. One afternoon, during a therapy session, Mr. Harris stumbled and nearly fell. Anna caught him quickly. He looked embarrassed and frustrated. "I'm sorry," he said softly. Anna shook her head and smiled. "Don't be sorry. This is part of the journey. Every fall teaches us how to stand stronger." Mr. Harris looked at her and nodded slowly. "Thank you for believing in me." Anna felt a warm glow inside her chest. These words meant more than she could say. She had seen many patients, but Mr. Harris had touched her heart in a special way. As the weeks passed, Mr. Harris grew stronger and more confident. He began walking with less support and talking more clearly. His laughter returned, light and genuine. Anna loved hearing his stories about the past and his dreams for the future. One day, Anna asked him about his family. Mr. Harris looked thoughtful and said, "They were always busy. I never had enough time for them. I was chasing money and success." Anna nodded gently. Sometimes, life takes us away from what really matters. But it's never too late to make things right. Mr. Harris sighed but smiled softly. "I want to try." Anna smiled back. "I'll be here to help." Together, they planned a small reunion with his family. Anna helped him write letters and prepare for the visit. It was an important step, one that showed Mr. Harris's growing strength not just physically, but emotionally. The day of the reunion arrived. Mr. Harris's family came to the hospital with cautious hope in their eyes. They saw the change in him, the spark in his eyes, the warmth in his smile. Anna watched quietly as they talked, laughed, and shared memories. Tears came to her eyes. This was a moment of healing not just for Mr. Harris, but for everyone. After the visit, Mr. Harris turned to Anna. "Thank you for bringing my family back to me." Anna smiled and said, "You did all the hard work. I just helped you see it." The hospital days passed, filled with progress and hope. Mr. Harris began to think about the future. He wanted to use his experience to help others who were struggling. Anna listened as he spoke about starting a foundation to support people recovering from illness and injury. She was proud of his new vision and determination. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky with soft colors, Mr. Harris and Anna sat by the window. He looked out at the city and said quietly, "I lost so much, but I found myself again." Anna nodded, her eyes shining with emotion. "You found the light inside you." Mr. Harris smiled and said, "And I owe it to you." Anna shook her head, feeling tears of joy. "No, you owe it to your own courage." They sat in silence for a moment, feeling the peace that comes after a long storm. Anna knew their journey was not over. There were still challenges ahead. But together, they had found a new beginning. Because sometimes, the greatest miracles come from the courage to keep going, one step at a time. The hospital room was filled with a soft golden light as the morning sun streamed through the window. Mr. Harris sat in a chair beside the bed, his face calm and strong. Today was a special day, not just because of the warm sunshine or the gentle breeze outside, but because it marked a new beginning for him. Anna entered the room carrying a small bouquet of wildflowers. She smiled warmly as she set the flowers on the bedside table. "Good morning, Mr. Harris," she said softly. "How are you feeling today?" Mr. Harris returned her smile, his eyes bright. "Stronger every day, thanks to you." Anna shook her head gently, touched by his words. "You did the hard work, but I'm happy to have been by your side." It had been months since the accident that left Mr. Harris in a coma. Months of patience, hard work, and care had brought him back to life, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Now, he was ready to leave the hospital and start a new chapter in his life. Mr. Harris looked around the room, remembering the days he spent here, days filled with silence, hope, and small miracles. He thought about the moments when he could barely move or speak, and how Anna's kindness had given him strength. He reached out and took her hand. "I will never forget what you did for me, Anna. You saved me." Anna smiled through tears. "You saved yourself, Mr. Harris. I just helped you find your way." As the day went on, Mr. Harris prepared to leave the hospital. Doctors and nurses came to say goodbye, their faces full of joy and pride. They had witnessed a miracle, a man who had returned from the edge of darkness to embrace life again. Anna helped Mr. Harris dress and packed his belongings. She gave him a small notebook, the same kind she had used to write letters to him during his coma. "Keep writing your story," she said. "Your journey isn't over." Mr. Harris nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "I will." Outside the hospital, the world seemed brighter and more alive than ever. Mr. Harris took a deep breath of fresh air and looked at the sky. For the first time in a long time, he felt free. Anna stood beside him, ready to support him as he stepped into the future. "Where will you go now?" she asked. Mr. Harris thought for a moment and smiled. "I want to help others. People who have lost hope, like I did." Anna's eyes sparkled. "That's a beautiful goal." They talked about his plans to start a foundation to support people recovering from illness or injury. Mr. Harris wanted to share his story and inspire others to never give up. Anna promised to help him in any way she could. Together, they dreamed of a future filled with kindness, hope, and new chances. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with colors of orange and pink, Mr. Harris and Anna sat quietly on a bench outside the hospital. They watched children playing nearby and felt the gentle breeze on their faces. Mr. Harris turned to Anna and said, "You gave me a gift I can never repay, the gift of life and hope." Anna smiled softly. "You don't have to repay me. Just live fully and help others." Mr. Harris nodded, feeling a new strength inside him. He knew that life was fragile but also beautiful. He was ready to face whatever came next. Anna stood up and stretched. "Come on, Mr. Harris. The world is waiting." They walked forward together, ready to embrace the future. Because sometimes, the most powerful miracles happen not just in hospitals or quiet rooms, but in the hearts of people who choose to believe, to hope, and to love. And for Mr. Harris and Anna, This was only the beginning of a new journey, one filled with light, courage, and endless possibilities.